is a little gray.
He's still a sexy man.
He sure is. And here we are today with KIS63 at Brio Tuscan Grill. And we had talked to Robert earlier, and he said, come on in and shoot your show here. And Russ, I appreciate you coming out here.
Yeah.
Let me first thank the audience for listening and for watching. Thanks to Dixon Edwards for all this great production he gives us all the time.
Dixon Edwards.
Edwards, you know,
Man,
actually, yeah.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, he's lost a little weight.
Yeah, his hair is a little bit more gray.
All of us, exactly, all of our hair is a little gray.
He's still a sexy man.
He sure is. He's never changed. He hasn't changed, man. He hasn't changed. Oh, yeah, now he's, there we go.
All he needed was a mic.
Exactly. So that's how he said. All you need is a mic. Well, first of all, two-time national champion NCAA, Outland Trophy winner, first pick of the draft by Dallas out of the University of Miami, 1991. 10 years, 5 with Dallas, 4 with Oakland, 1 with Green Bay.
Yep.
3-time Super Bowl, number 67, who's not just a husband of Rose, father of 3, but a friend to many, Mr. Russell Maryland. Thank you for coming.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
It took me a lot. I had to write all that down. You know, Wikipedia gives you so much information.
Wow, man, I don't think it's enough gigs in that phone for all the stuff you just said, man.
I'm telling you, I didn't memorize it. You can tell. But, we, you know the show. I talked to you a little bit about it, and over the years, you and I have talked many times about helping athletes transition into the business world and giving them some type of platform, giving them an opportunity to be able to talk about what they're doing now. And
sure.
Of course, we talk, past, a little bit about football, sports, passion and present. So let's get right into, I already led into all your football accolades. Let's talk a little bit about that. Coming out of Miami, okay, playing on a great team. That's like a professional team anyway. And then coming out of there and being the first pick of the draft, that had to be a great experience.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a great experience. I mean, what was so great about it was the great players that I had a chance to play with, along with the super coaches that I had. I mean, all the way from Coach Johnson, who came to the city of Chicago and plucked me out of obscurity, to, Dave Wanstead, who picked me up at the airport there, and Tommy Tuberville, who was there when I got there, and a bunch of great coaches. Butch Davis was my first defensive line coach. He taught me everything that I knew about playing defensive line, and it just took me all the way through my NFL career. So just it was just an immense amount of talent just there during those years that I was there. I'm grateful for it.
Isn't it so true, having that foundation of good coaching? And you're naming Super Bowl coaches. You said super coaches, but really they were Super Bowl coaches.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I did not have one iota of an idea that in 1986, when my parents dropped me off down there in Coral Gables, Florida, that I would be able to be trained by some of the greatest football coaches and football minds at that point in my life as a 17-year-old kid.
Right.
Didn't know, and I'll tell you what, I'm so thankful for it, because what I learned then helped me to have that 5-year career at the University of Miami, 2 national championships, and 3 Super Bowl 10-year career with the Cowboys, Raiders, and the Packers.
Yeah, in the injuries, you have overcome so many of them. I mean, how's your body feeling now?
Well, I'll tell you what.
People ask me that, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm too concussed to even think about it.
I can't remember.
Yeah, no. I tell you what, I'm blessed to be able to still be, walking normally, at 43 years old. But, you have the aches and pains, the mysterious aches and pains that come about, and, the neck, the back is what took me out. I had degenerative arthritis in my back, and one day I was good, and then all of a sudden the next day I can't play no more, and that's a tough thing to have to deal with, because nobody ever knows how they're going to leave the game, but more than likely you're going to leave with an injury or something nagging or chronic that you definitely don't expect.
Well, number 67 sure was a force to be reckoned with over the years. I mean, you also made the Pro Bowl and some other great accolades, but off the field, you've been married for 17 years now, you said? Rose is a great lady. I love your daughter. Plays on my daughter's volleyball team.
Yeah.
So we have fun. At least we stay in touch. And
That's right.
and I appreciate you coming out. But I want to talk about the force of what's the force that drives Russell, Maryland now.
Well, you just
What's your
said
passion?
it. Oh, you just said it. My kids.
Uh-huh.
My kids are really who I live for. I mean, I have my oldest daughter, Kyra. She's a great girl. She's a sophomore, and she runs track. She's a great high jumper.
There you go.
And I love to go out and to see her do her thing with her high school team. And in the summers, we run summer track also.
Didn't you go down to Corpus this year?
Oh yeah, went down to Corpus.
Rose was talking about that.
Went down to Corpus, and all of my kids placed. Well, 2 placed, and one did well nonetheless. But I tell you what, to see them progress over the years from, when I was in Oakland, carrying them in my arms after games as a baby, and now to see her doing the big things she's doing as a sophomore in high school is great. And then, my middle girl Iris,
I see her all the time.
Volleyball, she's the volleyball queen. And then my little guy Russell Jr., he's 8 years old, and he's a speedster, man. He loves football, he loves basketball, he takes karate, anything that
loves
you throw
track
at,
too, right?
And runs track. I mean,
So that's what Rose was saying last week. He just loves running.
yeah, he loves running. He's fast. I don't know where he got that from, because he showed it again from me. But yeah, I just love to see those guys go out there and perform, not only out there on the field athletically, but academically also. So my job is just to see that they grow up to be well-rounded adults, and it all starts here. That's what we dads have to do.
Well, you said it right there. Being a dad, so many people aren't the dads anymore.
That's right.
And there's a gentleman that we both know very well, or knew very well, who was a chaplain of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And why don't you talk a little bit about, because everyone knows my experience with John Weber,
Yes.
and then he inserted into me the encouraged me to, when I had a daughter, do the daddy-daughter day thing.
Yeah.
And why don't you share a little bit about John from your perspective to our listeners and our viewers?
Well, John and I were great friends, former chaplain of the Cowboys, and great mentor of many, not just myself, but many. From getting a chance to know him from 1991 until his untimely death about 5 years ago in 2007, he made a marked difference on my life. There was a time where, I wasn't going to church as often. You think you're playing on Sundays, and that becomes your church.
Right,
unfortunately, John Weber was there to say, hey, come here. Let me tell you a little bit about the word. You're not done yet. You're just getting started. And the one word that you said was really important: encouragement. He was an encourager.
Was incredible.
Incredible encourager. And that's just the man that he was. He had that great sense of seeing when a guy needed to be talked to, was down. He could always bring you up. Even though he wasn't but about this tall,
Small guy.
about this wide.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter if you were the tallest man or the smallest kid. John always could find something that could bring you up and something to be as an encouragement to you. So I tell you what, he's greatly missed in my life.
Right. Now, how has he impacted you when it comes to raising your kids and being a dad?
Well, I looked at him and the 5 kids that he had, and how he was just so kind to them, not only to them but to his wife. You look at that as a model. That's just the way that a man should be. I just it's something to be admired. I admire that the most about him, and I always said that I would try to model take some things from him and model my fathering or my husbanding after him. I don't even know if husbanding is a word, but
You created it. We'll go with it.
Okay, let's go.
That's a new Marylandism.
All right, good.
The man, the myth, the legend.
That's right. I make my own words, and you'll be coming to a dictionary near you.
Exactly. Look it up in the thesaurus. But let me, again, you're making an impact in the family, making an impact. First of all, I should say you made an impact in sport, in your sport. You made an impact, and you're making an impact with your kids and your family, and you're also, because didn't you get involved with him as a chaplain for a little while with the Cowboys, or were you just with him a lot?
You know, I was with him a lot, and he allowed me to come speak to the Cowboy teams well after I retired in the 2000s. We met a lot, we met often, and he would always offer for me to come and be a guest speaker. I guess his view was here's a guy that, you know, the former player just like you guys, that,
right.
And you know, see what he has to say. And you know, it's not always easy, you know, but here's a guy that has made it through it. So he would always try to use me as a model, and I was glad to be one for the guys, because I respect players. You know, I love players, because I was a player myself, of course. So. And he was there to allow me to be that model for the guys.
Right. Well, and then consistently being that model is a hard thing, and being able to talk to them, reach out to those guys that are currently playing is sometimes, you know, it can be intimidating, guys. But you know, with your accolades, no matter what you were in the past, it's where they're at now. You know where they were,
Sure.
and you want to. It's kind of like it's that father figure type thing. A guy who's been there, learn from their mistakes. Don't create your new ones.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, there are a lot of pitfalls, classic stories of guys who made the same mistakes, you know, over and over again, and you wonder, how could that happen? Because then you see in this, you know, 10 years ago that happened to so-and-so.
Right.
10 years before that happened to somebody else. So it's always a daunting task to talk to the younger guys, because, you know, it seems like when we're in our 20s, and we all went through it. When we were in our 20s, we were invincible. Nothing could happen to us.
Nothing.
You know, I had you know, Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White, you know, tell me a bunch of things. You know, most of the stuff I listened to, but some stuff I didn't listen to.
You have to learn yourself.
Yeah, and it was just an experience type of thing. You really have to experience it and learn it yourself. You know, I wish I would have listened to them a little bit better in my 20s. Now that I'm 43. But you know, that's just how young men are, I guess, in our 20s. You know, making a lot of money, playing football, you know, everybody's throwing all kind of adulation towards you, and you sometimes you get caught up in all that, and you think that you're God's gift to everybody.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, you know, knowing who you think you were on that third Super Bowl. First Super Bowl is one thing. Seconds, wow. Now a third one? I mean, my goodness.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, it was the first Super Bowl. After winning that, I mean, we had the parade downtown Dallas, and I mean, it was just amazing. Everybody would show us so much love, and we barely paid for any restaurant meals, and that was such a great thing. And so it's easy to fall into that trap of thinking that you're better than what you really are. You know, we worked hard, and we worked hard enough to win the Super Bowl. But you know, hey, there's a Super Bowl of life too, and all of that comes and goes. My mom always used to tell me, it still does, that success is fleeting. You know, you better go and get yourself right with the Lord.
There you go.
And not read your own press clippings.
Exactly. You gotta start believing it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as they say you are.
That's right.